Hello, I'm Pat Graney, and I'm launching a brand new podcast that I'm calling What It Is. And what it is a search for meaning among the avalanche of new information we're receiving every single day. So thanks for tuning in, and welcome to What It Is. This is where we create a space for ideas about music, science, food, life in general, anything and everything. Then we mash, blend, slice, and chop the information to examine it and our relationship to it anew. Today, we'll begin with a new idea from the wild world of theoretical physics as reported in Scientific American magazine titled Tangled Up in Space-Time by Clara Moskowitz. Clara's article is based on information coming from the collaborative project IT from Qubit. The it in this case represents space-time, and the bit represents the smallest possible amount of information on a quantum scale. The IT from Qubit project features a group of scientists that have begun to question the idea that space is just a backdrop for the action of forces and fields that inhabit it. Their new idea is that space-time may be composed of tiny chunks of information that are all connected or bound together through quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is what Albert Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. However, the most recent experiments of this very spooky phenomenon demonstrate that this is indeed spooky action, but that distance does not need to be a part of the equation. Now we need to dive in a little deeper to check out what happens during quantum entanglement. So here's how freelance writer Tom Siegfried explains the process. Let's say two photons, that's particles of light, are emitted from a particle, say a pion, with zero angular momentum. Therefore, the spins of the two particles must add up to zero. So a physicist A, we'll call her Beatrice, snags one of the photons and measures its spin as +1. She knows instantly that when physicist B, we'll call him Felix, measures the other photon, its spin will be -1. So far, there's nothing too spooky happening, right? This experiment appears to be no more mysterious than separating a pair of gloves and mailing one to Beatrice and one to Felix. If Beatrice gets a right-handed glove, she knows that Felix's will be left-handed. But entanglement is not that simple. Recent experiments in the Netherlands have demonstrated that neither particle has a definite spin before getting measured. The gloves have no handedness on their way to the recipients. It's more like sending off two mittens. And when Beatrice tries hers on her right hand, it turns into a right-handed glove. If Felix tries the mitten on his left hand, it will turn into a left-handed glove. If he tried it on his right hand, it would stay a mitten. Therefore, the actions of Beatrice and Felix measuring the particles determines the spin of the particles. Now that is very strange and spooky indeed. But to make the picture even more complex, Dr. Balasubramanian says, conventional entanglement is not enough. I've come to realize that there are other forms of entanglement that turn out to be relevant to this project of reconstructing space-time. For example, one could entangle particles of a particular kind at one location with particles of a different kind at the same location, which is an entanglement that does not involve space. So back to the new theory, IT from Qubit. The new view holds that space-time, rather than being fundamental, might emerge from the interaction of qubits. What exactly the qubits are made from and what kind of information they contain, scientists do not know yet. However, that doesn't bother postdoc grad at Stanford University, Brian Swingle. He unequivocally states, what matters are relationships. These collective relationships are the source of richness. Here, the crucial thing is not the individual constituents, but the way they organize together. He goes on to say that one absolutely fascinating proposal is that the fabric of space-time is knitted together by quantum entanglement. Well, because finding a working theory of quantum gravity is so difficult, the IT from Qubit physicists are working to produce a theory derived from a universe with fewer dimensions than ours. This is similar to the thinking behind the black hole discovery that shows one can completely describe a black hole by describing what happens on its surface. Then perhaps what we think of as gravity in space-time is just another way of looking at the end product of entanglement. It could be that these minuscule info chunks, qubits, interact with one another through entanglement in a grand symphony of improvising and synthesizing new information that plays our cosmos into reality. So then maybe the whole idea of this enterprise that we're all involved with is to play our way into reality. So until next time, keep on playing. And make sure to tune in to the next edition of What It Is.